Hi, today we're going to repot Phalaenopsis orchids. Phales are the most popular orchid in probably the world, and the blooms last for months, which is one reason why they're so popular. Then once they finish blooming, people never know what to do with them. Well, rather than throw them away, learn how to repot them. So we're going to take this sample and pull it out of its plastic cup. And you can see that there are some really bad roots in there. So, Ken, if you would hold that for me, I will begin to operate on this little orchid. We're going to try to get the old sphagnum out and cut away the dead roots. Now, we ordinarily would wait for the orchid to finish flowering, but we just wanted you to know that for sure this is a Phalaenopsis. This may take a couple of minutes. Phales are called moth flowers. Phalaenopsis is Greek for moth. And the big white flowers that you usually see on phales do look like moths when they float on the breeze. It is potted in sphagnum moss, which is what you should use, and I have some new sphagnum here for this. And it's actually, the sphagnum's in pretty good shape on this one, so it's not a very old phale. Now I'm using cutters that I have sterilized with a flame and sharpened. So whenever you cut an orchid, you want to make sure that your knife or your cutters have been sterilized, because you don't want to carry disease from one plant to another. And all these that are just like exposed threads, these are the really bad roots. The ones that are plump and green are very good roots. I am. Now, in nature, Phalaenopsis will grow on limbs. Now, let me hold it for a second. Sort of sideways, because they grow with a crown that collects water. And if they're on the edge of the branch, the water drips away. If you have them in a pot and you sit them upright and you do overhead watering, the water will rot that crown. So when you pot, you want to make sure it's a little bit slanted. Now, I'm going to put styrofoam peanuts in the bottom of this pot to help make sure it drains. And then I'm going to take, could you hold that again? I'm going to take sphagnum moss, which I have pre-wet, and put it in here. Now we're going to take this orchid, put the roots in, lean it a little bit so that you don't have it collecting all that moisture in the crown, and thoroughly stuff in the new sphagnum moss. And take a clip. This is a clip for a plastic pot. And anchor your plant in the right position. Then you would water it. And the thing you want to know about Phalaenopsis is that they like to have their roots stay moist. So if it's very, very warm, then that may require that you water every couple of days. If it's not so warm, I see I missed a root here, then you can water less often. The reason you use a clear pot is that when the roots, and I hope you can see these roots right here, when the roots are exposed through that clear plastic, they will photosynthesize. So what you would do when this flower is gone, you cut this back to the very base, and it will nicely grow for the next season. Now, some people say, oh, but we like to leave the stem on because it will put out little kikis or babies. Yes, but that takes away from the strength of the full plant. If it's trying to do two things at once. It's trying to grow for the next season and still hang on to its flower. So you don't really want to do that. You want to cut that off and give your plant a really good start for the next year. And that's it.